Hey listeners. Before we get to the episode, we want to take a moment to address the June 24th Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. This decision stripped away the legal right to have a safe and legal abortion. Restricting access to comprehensive reproductive care, including abortion, threatens the health and independence of all Americans, and others should other countries do this too. This decision could also lead to the loss of other rights. To learn more about what you can do to help, go to choice.crd.co. We encourage you to speak up, take care, and spread the word. Thank you.
Hello friends, my name is Dane Miller.
And my name is Niall Spang. Oh, we're your fuck buddies.
We're a dating and sex advice podcast where we take your sticky, sexy situations, turn them into sexy, sticky situations.
Did you say try them into?
Yeah.
Okay. I was
it's a little more
wrong?
No, like non-definitive. I don't want to say that we're gonna do it. We're gonna give it a go.
Even then, you try to turn them into.
No.
That doesn't okay.
It's all about SEO, baby. You gotta keep it.
As you said it, that you were doing a really good job reading them out and was going to comment on that, and you immediately fucked it up.
I don't think I did say try.
I was
just rolling with you. I might have just. We'll see. We'll see. We've got this on audio record. We can see what I've said.
We're a podcast.
Yes.
Sex and dating advice questions.
Mm-hmm. We try them.
Yeah. Either from you or from Reddit.
Trying
the triangles.
Triangles. This is our word association.
We're killing it so far.
It's hot, guys.
I might have heat stroke currently. My head is pounding, and I just cycled on my brand new bike, which is great.
And I'm in my 30s, so I'm hungover for 2 days.
It's fair. You ready for some questions? We're just going to get into it. Let's start with some seduction.
Hold on, sex news. Not great news, but something to be aware of. Apparently, Facebook turned over a bunch of DMs to, I believe it was the Georgia government.
I saw that.
To help prove that she had an abortion.
That's fucked.
So be careful about what you say, where you say it, and who you say it to, because everyone out here narking.
Yeah.
So be safe and be careful, friends.
Yeah. Fucking Zuckerberg. More like Fuckerberg.
Yeah, more like
Cuckerberg.
Yeah, Fuckerberg, I think is the right way to go. Yeah.
Suckerberg?
Sucker nerd.
Whoa.
God.
Damn. Facebook is they're not going to stop giving us those free advertising dollars they also won't allow us to use.
That we can't use yet.
He's been fucking with us for years.
It's true.
He's like, oh, here's some money. Oh, great. Can we use it on advertising? Nope.
Yeah.
Can we use it on anything else? Nope. But I'm going to email you about it every time you log on. This is seduction. This is by Zeiswar. What is good sex? The kind of sex that makes you stand out? Male perspective, please. Thank you.
Okay. I assume this is a woman, then? Presumably?
I assume it's a guy. Oh, for clarification, I'm a woman wanting to hear men's thoughts.
On what's good sex?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a fun question,
mm-hmm.
particularly coming from seduction, but I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with seduction. I don't know.
I can't wait to go through the comments. I haven't looked at them yet.
Please no. Okay. Good sex for me, I think is, I want to be excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to like, if it's a date, I want to be like
anticipating
almost antsy to get to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I think the anticipation is a very big thing for me. I think chemistry is another really important thing for me. In terms of like, just that like unspoken sort of impossible to manufacture connection you have with someone, whether it's sexual chemistry or like romantic chemistry or like whatever it is, hopefully like all of it, but like that sort of like electricity, that spark that you have that like really can't be fake.
No, and also like I don't think there's anything really work to like make it.
No.
You know what I mean? Like I'm sure there are some things you could do, but I think it just kind of happens or it doesn't. And you're always going to meet people where you just fucking connect with or don't.
Yeah.
And I think when you have it, great. If you're trying to manufacture it with someone, I think that's a fool's journey.
Yes. It's a pointless
errand.
You
don't always need it either. And sometimes it can develop.
100%. But if we're talking about like a perfect sexual experience, yes, that sort of like spark and electricity of just being like, you make out the same way, you know what I mean? Like your internal rhythms are the same. There's like almost no verbal, communication required. It's just sort of like you are in simpatico,
carnal, physical.
Yeah. So like that, I think is a really, really good indicator that the sex is going to be good. And then like fun.
Yeah. Fun was definitely, and we've talked about this so many times. Fun is key. Fun is always key. No matter like,
and don't get me wrong, like sex is almost always going to be fun
in a certain sense. Yes.
Because it's sex.
But like there should be
play.
Yes. And even then, yes, there's gonna be physical play. There's gonna be foreplay.
Yeah.
This is the fifth play though. This is the 5 play.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like when you can actually sort of like, if you do bonk heads, it doesn't feel like you've ruined the section. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like you need to call cut and like try it over again.
Yeah.
You fucking laugh about it, and then that elevates the experience as opposed to makes it more awkward.
Exactly. And like it's not this like weird, intense movie sex where like everyone's staring and the lights are dark and like nobody, like that can be good, but like you still need to be fun to do that. I think like I think fun should always be prevalent, even if it's even if you're having really intense sex, it's like you still need to be fun,
Yeah.
And that could be anything. And I think it's like a lack of seriousness more so than an excess of fun. Like when people take it too seriously or like are too tense or too like
taking yourself too seriously.
Yeah,
I think like nothing sort of makes me more removed from a sexual experience than if I feel like the other person is putting on a show.
Yes.
What I mean? If it seems too performative, and that could be like through, excessive moaning or like posturing or like, we've talked about it 1,000 times. It's like, if a certain position feels a certain way and it feels better when you lift a leg up, I don't care if there's a roll.
No,
I literally do not see it. I have roll blindness,
but like
during sex.
I don't think anyone even ever really sees roll. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
we're all human, and yes, I understand that. Like every single fucking selfie people take, no one's popping a roll there unless they're doing a "look, I have rolls too" post, which they'll do in the midst of their 100 other perfect pictures. That's its own thing, right? If you're taking a fucking selfie and you're getting your lighting, of course you're going to pose in a certain way.
Yeah.
But that's not sex. And if you think that's how sex should be, get out of here.
Yeah.
So don't think about that. I think for me, enthusiasm, like on top of what we've been talking about, enthusiasm, confidence. And again, not the like sexy movie star, like sultry confidence, like seriousness, just like actual confidence to like be who you are in that moment, which again is part of being open to having fun and being fun and like enjoying yourself.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about like, and again, this is from a male point of view, but like a woman who's willing to like just kind of bask in her glory without pretense.
Yes.
Like that is so sexy. And even if it's just something as simple as like things getting hot and heavy and like they've decided that they're wearing too much clothing and they take it upon themselves to like tear it off themselves. Like to me, that's such a sexy thing for a woman to do, because I'm like, it just shows that like, one, you're into this as much as I am. 2, you want to be naked as much as I want you to be naked.
Always
and
good.
3, you're confident in your body to like, you don't want to hide anything. You don't want to keep a shirt on or a bra on or whatever. And again, if you do, that's fine. I know there are plenty of women, especially women who have larger boobs. I've had multiple times people believe me, like it's way more comfortable to have the sex that I want to have with a bra on because it's too much
like
moving around.
But even like, just like coming out and saying that's the confidence that we're talking about here. You know what I mean? So yeah, confidence, fun, enthusiasm. Again, there's nothing worse than getting a half-hearted blowjob.
And I think a lot of the times isn't a lack of enthusiasm. It's a lack of like all the other things we've talked about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think they're having fun and I think they want to do it, but I think that there is a certain amount of posturing and a certain amount of like,
well, that's it. It's like the stiffness that comes with like, okay, it's blowjob time. I need to do, instead of it being like a fun act, if that makes, you know what I mean?
Yes,
I'm not saying people are doing it against their will, but like there is a certain kind of like stiffness.
Yeah.
I'm not just talking about dicks.
Yeah, I think one of the things that like I love so much is like when people just relish in the moment of whatever they're doing.
Mhm.
So if they're giving a blowjob, they know how good it feels. You know what I mean? Like they are appreciating what they're doing for me in the same way that like,
well, when I go down on someone, it's like, that's my whole jam. I fucking love it because it's like the better it feels for them, the better it is for me. And the more it's just like this.
Yeah, it is the only thing that matters
I'm having
to me.
so much fun.
Yeah.
Like I'm having the most fun, and the better it gets, the more fun I'm having. And it's like, it's great. I fucking love it. And I think
that's why people, I think there's like that disconnect of oral sex, specifically when being performed on a woman. I think so many guys don't like it, quote unquote, or aren't good at it, quote unquote.
I'm rolling my eyes for those who aren't in the closet.
Because they aren't willing to commit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and the same thing with their partner might not also be relaxing and letting themselves go. You know what I mean? So there's a like a nervousness on both sides, and it's just like to just sort of melt into that moment and just let someone pleasure just you, and then let that wash over you, quite literally.
In some cases,
it's so good. It's so good. And like we've been talking about more and more about how like sex isn't just penis vagina insertion.
No, of course not.
You know what I mean? Someone you fuck until someone comes, and then most often the man. But like I would be content in a sexual experience if for whatever reason it was just me going down on someone.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like I would. And like, I enjoy those kind of things where like, if it is sort of like a quick, busy, we only have a certain amount of time, I would happily just be like, I'm going to go down on you, make you come, and like, let you think about that.
Then you can go off to work and have the best day. For sure. And even like, I totally agree. I will say on the topic of people coming, I don't want to say good sex is sex where everybody comes.
Yeah.
Because you can have good sex without it. I
Absolutely.
think that should always be the goal. And I think if you don't want someone to come, unless it's a predetermined, agreed upon, enthusiastic kink, where that's the point, I think you're a shitty sexual partner, right? If you don't care or if you don't want to, then you suck.
Yeah.
If someone can't, that's fine. I don't like, we want to close the orgasm gap here. Mm-hmm. We always advocate for making people come, especially women, because sadly they don't get it enough. But I think it is important to know that you can have good sex without that happening for a variety of reasons. One, so that people can be honest if their partner doesn't make them come, and therefore build towards better sex. And you don't just have this like girl faking her orgasm all the time thing that doesn't fucking help anybody. Two, so that if you're told that they didn't come, you don't freak out and like get upset or have a tantrum or don't try next time or blame yourself or, and three, so that if someone says I had a great time, but they didn't come, you can believe them because again, it can happen on both sides of the table. Right. I think that's important, but I do want to hammer home that we think you should still be trying in the most positive way. Yeah. And that, in a perfect world, everyone would come.
Yeah. I mean, like I've had tons of sexual experiences where I haven't been able to come for any number of reasons. Usually, almost, I would say that 90% of the time is because it's too fucking hot or, I'm just tired. Like those are like the two things. And it's just like where, I hit a certain internal temperature and I could probably fuck forever. Like, I just don't think I would pass out from heat stroke before I would come. I don't know what it is about the heat that does it.
There's something just so shitty because like fucking takes a lot of energy and generates a lot of heat.
Yeah.
And it's like when you're hot and you just have to increase that, and like it gets to the point where instead of like your, cum valve building like a video game where you hit the point and then, your pleasure meter, I don't know how to, your climax building. That's the better way to do it. Cum valve it is though. Instead of that building, or at least you thinking of that, it's just the heat and the heat and the heat and the effort and the sweat and like, well. So I kind of get it. For me, it's definitely been like if I've had too much to drink and it's like, I've got it up, but it's not going to finish. You know what I mean? There's been times where it's like, and you just get tired. And does that mean I had a bad time? No. Would I want to come? Sure. But like, if I'm with someone, especially if they had a great time, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, there's always tomorrow morning or in 20 minutes after a Gatorade and we've cooled down a bit, It's fine.
I mean, that's usually, for me, it's like during morning sex. I remember there was someone, if I stayed over at their place, they did not have AC, and their window, like,
Just
the sun
portal.
Yeah, just like a fucking magnifying glass. And like 9 times out of 10, most of the sex we had would be in the morning. And it was just like, it's just so, it's like, I love fucking you a lot. It's a lot of fun. I have a great time, but like this heat though, like,
no, I hear you. And that's like another thing is like, even like comfort. You know what I mean? Comfort, temperature, that can affect so many things on both sides of the table. There's a study a while ago where they found that women orgasmed more if they wore socks. Yeah.
Interesting.
And that was just a thing. And whether it was due to like comfort or temperature, or maybe, I don't know the parameters of the study. Maybe women were more comfortable wearing socks with people they liked more and felt less judged by. You know what I mean? I don't really know what the whole thing was, so I probably shouldn't throw it out there. But whatever. There you go. Wear some socks.
Wear some socks.
Wear 2 pairs.
Niles,
each
100% guarantee.
Yeah. Sock it up.
For orgasms. The more socks.
No, sock it up. You got to sock it up. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I do want to say, it's like, I think trying to figure out what good sex is, I feel like if we asked 20 dudes, they would all say wildly different things. So I think you need to stop, like, as with everything about sex and dating, stop thinking so broad.
Yeah.
Right? Like, stop saying, do men like X? Or what is good sex? Because that's like saying, like, is chocolate good?
Yeah. Some people fucking hate chocolate.
Some people can't.
Hey,
chocolate would make me very sick.
Some chocolate is bad too.
Some chocolate is bad. Chocolate is poisonous to dogs.
Exactly. If you're a dog listening to this podcast, the sex we just described could be terrible. No. And that's one thing I like about what we talked about here is, like, I think we also stuck to generalities in a way, because, like, I don't think anyone's gonna be mad that someone's enthusiastic.
Yeah, no,
or fun, or like, you know. Yeah. And maybe someone listening is like, fuck you guys, that's the vaguest fucking answer. I want, like, they kiss the earlobe, they blah blah, and it's like, yeah, some of these things can be good, but those specifics, the danger is, and what seduction likes to do is, here's this one
take it as gospel.
Wild trick that dentists hate. You know, it's like, well, some dentists love that.
Do we want to talk specifically? Like
I think that would defeat the purpose of what we're doing.
Okay.
You know?
I was, in case people were curious.
Well, if people are curious, they can follow up with us.
Hey, let's say this. What is one thing that you like that would really makes a sexual encounter for you? Like one specific thing. And that way we don't have to go through like a step-by-step process. But like one thing that, like,
you see, for me, I know this is probably a bullshit answer, but it feels to me like a combination of the stuff before with like chemistry. You know what I mean? It's certain people. I've never looked back and gone, oh, someone did this one thing.
Okay.
It's like that person.
Yeah.
You know?
I understand what you're saying.
I do remember once getting a hand job so incredible that I asked the girl out the next day because my dick still felt good 20 hours later. Like, that was fucking wild. So there you go. I was quite young, but still.
Hey,
I think I mentioned it in the hand job episode.
Probably.
Like, she jerked me off, and then, like, as I came, got my cum in her hand and used that as lube on my dick that was so sensitive from the hand job. And, like, you know that, like, period where it's extra sensitive and it can be hell. But, like, it was really good. It was crazy. I don't know, man. It was wild.
Do you think that she did it on purpose, or do you think it was all just a sloppy mistake?
You know what? I don't know, because like no, actually, yeah, I think it was some kind of mistake or someone had told her something or whatever, because like, I don't remember her repeating it again, and she didn't have like finesse with a lot of other stuff. So I don't know. Maybe it was an accident, but like, damn, girl.
For me, I think I would say naturally falling into a submissive role. Like, I think if the woman I'm with naturally sort of like trusts me enough to sort of fall into a sub role, even if it's like a really soft, because obviously like we haven't discussed safe words or parameters or kinks or like anything like that, but just sort of like it makes me feel very, very good. And like I relax like 10 times more of being like, oh, this person trusts me enough in this sort of very vulnerable space to navigate this like on the fly.
Yeah.
And I like, and I prefer to take a dominant role in bed. So like, it's nice to like almost skip a couple steps safely.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean?
Well, you're already kind of like what we talked about earlier, where it's like you're reading each other's cues and stuff. Like, I guess that's probably already happening, or at the very least, your cues match like a jigsaw. So
yes, yeah,
those things are good for sure.
I love when a woman is willing to trust me and then sort of like tell me what they want as well, because it's like it really gives me a good snapshot and a good clear picture of who they are as a sexual partner, because they're like, 1, going to be trusting, 2, communication is there, and like 3, you've got sort of that initial like off the cuff, like as we talked about, chemistry of being like, here are the things, like here's what I want, and like I think for most dudes would be antithesis to being submissive, because I should be telling you what you want, but like me understanding that relationship doesn't work that way. Like, it's just so sexy to have someone be like, here's what I want, and it's for you to do what you want, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like that's a very, very hot thing for me in a sexual experience. And I think that if that happens, I'm very, very happy.
Yeah. I also feel like that has a certain amount of like confidence and experience behind it too, which is always a pretty good indication. Yeah. I will say we kind of didn't mention, I meant to, communication as well. It's like, if people are willing to communicate, and again, I think it's wrapped up in everything else, but it's like to give a shit about you and your pleasure, especially like, I feel like we talk a lot about men talking to women about, you know, what they need. And again, look at the orgasm gap. They need that a lot. Yeah. But I think a lot of women don't seem to talk about it with regards to men, where it's just like, men are easy. The dick, you just jerk it, you know? Whereas like there's a world of different things you can do that people will like or not like. And, you know, I think that's a really good thing as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And listening. Yeah. Talking about things, and like, if someone says they don't want their nipples played with, don't play with their fucking nipples.
Exactly.
Can you just leave the nipples alone?
If you want to ruin a thing, it's like, there's this weird, like, people seem to think it's cute to ignore what you say. Yeah. And then get upset when you are like upset about it. And I'm like, no, if roles were reversed, this would be terrible. Yeah. So it's like, why is it fine for you to ignore me saying something very specific? Yeah. I don't know. That's happened a few times, and it seems to be always the same, like, like, I'm so mischievous. It's like, no, that's fucked. It's like, if you want to be mischievous or fun, like, great. There are a million ways to do that other than like ignoring my consent or my opening up and being communicative and honest and blah, 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 blah. It's like, don't be that person. That's not cute. Nope. You got one?
This is from Dry Engine. Attraction to other people while on a relationship. Now, English is definitely not their first language in here. So let's not focus too much on that. There's a 25-year-old female and a 27-year-old male.
And who's the question asker?
Female. So I have a partner, and we recently had a conversation about being attracted to other people while in a relationship. I'm bisexual. I'm not attracted to anyone but my partner at all. I do find people attractive, but could never have any sexual thoughts about this person. Even the thought of kissing is disgusting for me. But my boyfriend said that he does feel attracted to other girls sexually. He said it is completely normal, specifically for men. It's like an instinct, and he can't change. He's always complimenting, saying I'm the prettiest girl in the world, etc., but also says stuff like, of course, if you put someone attractive, like a celebrity crush, for example, in front of me, I'd want to fuck. Every man would. But it's the choice of not doing it that I should focus on, he says, because he's committed to our relationship. Is that normal or common? I feel so insecure. Every time we go out, I can see him checking out girls, and I instantly feel bad. I've been trying to change and open my mind. I really want some help. Please, advice to get over.
Yeah, I think in this situation, being revolted by people that aren't your partner is definitely the stranger of the two situations.
Yes.
I think again, even look at celebrity crushes. Everyone's like, oh shit, Chris Hemsworth's hot as fuck, right? His clothes get blown off him in Thor. No one's sad about that, right? And the majority of people in the movie theater were there with their partners. Boom, there we go. Like, everyone has crushes. People don't cease being attractive just because you're dating somebody else. And yes, the important thing is that you don't act on that. And I guess how you express it too. Like, there's a level of disrespect if you do it wrong, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, if you're like, oh, that girl's you know, like, you can do it the right way and the wrong way.
Yes.
Like, I've been walking down the street before, and like, just some insanely ripped dude will jog by topless, and me and my girlfriend will look at each other and be like, damn. I mean, that's fine. Like, I get it. She gets it. There's nothing wrong with that. And vice versa, you know? We're at the climbing gym and someone comes in, we're like, oh, damn. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. We both know. Whereas, like, I'm sure, well, of course, you could do it in a way that would be either disrespectful or upset your partner. And I think that's just all there is to it. It's like, you should never expect your partner to just be like, well, there we go. I'm mentally cut off all attraction to everybody and everything. Because if they've said that, unless they're you in this rare case, they're lying.
But I think you're lying too.
Me?
I think no. The question answer.
I was like, what?
No, but I think you are either lying about the whole like, I couldn't possibly think of someone like that, or you're so repressed. You know what I mean? Like you've repressed your sexuality so much that you believe that like monogamy is this like be all and end all that your brain shuts down.
Or like you've lied to yourself about so many times that you're finally there, maybe.
Right.
But like, yeah, my fucking ex was insane about this kind of shit. Where like she would like watch a movie and she really liked Bruce Willis. Great. And she'd be like, oh, he's so hot. I'm like, yeah, of course. But then like if even someone else was on screen, she'd like look at me and be like, oh, you find her attractive? I'm like, yeah, it's fucking Jessica Alba. Of course I do. You know?
Is there
everyone
movie
does.
where Bruce Willis and Jessica Alba?
Sin City?
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like okay. General advice for people in these situations.
Jessica Alba's hot.
Yeah, there we go. That's it. That's my advice. No, don't be a fucking hypocrite. There shouldn't be a rule for you and a rule for them. If you're able to say Bruce Willis is hot, they're able to say Jessica Alba's hot. 2, if you find people attractive, don't pretend you don't and like make your partner feel bad because they do.
Yeah.
Right? Like just be open with it. Again, unless someone's being like really weird and disrespectful or like needling you or like going about it the wrong way, which of course is hard to quantify, then it's fine.
But I don't think it is hard to quantify because you would know. Right? Like you would have to sort of like if they're doing something and it's making you uncomfortable, you have to ask yourself, and we talk about jealousy a lot in this sense.
What I'm saying is in this situation, my ex thought it was fine for her to do whatever.
Right, yes.
And thought when I did it that it was wrong. So like she knew. She was just an ass.
I mean that's just categorically wrong.
But that's what I'm saying is like the whole you'll know is maybe not the best metric because people can be fucking hypocritical assholes.
But I think on that note, I think if that's the way you feel, you need to bring it up or ask yourself the question we talk about a lot with jealousy is being like, do I have the right to be jealous?
Fully.
Right? And then you follow the flow chart of being like, am I doing the same thing?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, then I can't be jealous.
We should make this flow chart and put it up on our
And it's like, no, if you aren't, then be like, are they doing it intentionally? And then if you feel like if your partner is like every time like being like, damn, her ass is better than yours.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That person is being a dick.
Or it's like, oh man, I love girls with like big plump lips every time, like if it seems like they're trying to like nag you or change you or like make you feel bad about the differences between you and them.
But if an absolute like cutie walks their way and you catch their eye kind of dart over for a second, they're not doing anything to hurt you there. And like I understand that might make you a little self-conscious and make you a little jealous, but like we're all human. There's no way you aren't glimpsing at attractive people as well. Like I just refuse to believe it. I just refuse.
And again, if he's like leering at her and like following her down the road, that's an issue,
Yeah.
If he's just like, catcalling her and going like, ooga, like, yeah, that's a problem.
If he's doing Mask and or Bugs Bunny style,
if his eyes don't stay in his head, that's bad.
If his jaw dislocates and his tongue rolls along the floor like a carpet, yes, absolutely, talk to him. You also might be dating a cartoon character. Yeah.
Which I think we already covered that.
Very tough.
In episode 17.
Yeah.
So, but like, just be honest with yourself. Don't create drama out of nothing. It's normal to feel self-conscious. Think about it instead of like putting up walls and getting your guns out and all this shit. Like, think about it for a second. Are you doing it intentionally or are you just, is Jessica Alba just so hot that you're like, oh, damn.
The answer is yes.
And yeah, that's fine.
Jessica Alba is that hot.
You're allowed not feel as hot as Jessica Alba because, like, one,
you are.
You probably... But also, Jessica Alba is not really a real person.
Jessica Alba's not real?
You're CGI.
Oh, fuck.
She's also a cartoon character.
Like one of those holograms?
Yeah. No, just like, as in, with celebrity stuff, it's like the odds of your boyfriend meeting Jessica Alba... I guess it doesn't matter, does it? But either way, you're allowed to be self-conscious.
What happened to Jessica Alba? What is she doing?
Let's find out.
Let's Google this real quick.
This is our true crime podcast where we try to figure out what happened to Jessica Alba. Because it's a crime that I'm not seeing her on every screen.
Right? She should be in every fucking movie. Jessica Alba's 41 right now. Why is Jessica Alba a billionaire?
Well, she's a billionaire.
She co-founded the non-toxic household good company, The Honest Company.
She's a billionaire because her husband's name is Cash. Cash Warren.
Oh, like Warren... No.
She's an exec producer and starring in an upcoming thriller series.
Yeah, subscription service for diapers and baby wipes.
We'll see her soon, I guess. All right, we need to get back to the podcast.
Do you think she's going to be in the new Fantastic Four movie?
I doubt it. Maybe as like a cameo. All right.
Oh, she hasn't been doing a whole lot. She's too busy selling non-toxic baby wipes, which, if I do say so, one of the best products to be non-toxic.
You would imagine.
It's the opposite of Goop.
Yeah, the Goop. It's like here's a thing. You put it inside your baby, and it makes them better. It's like, okay, look, Gwyneth. Can we talk for a second? Well, I do have to go meditate on my orb. No, but like that's very clearly a blade. It's knife shaped.
Can we talk about how Gwyneth Paltrow just wants to put things inside of people?
Just to fuck them up too?
Yeah.
Like she's got to be some kind of demon. I don't know.
There's no way she isn't.
Like
anyway. Goop? Why would you name it Goop?
That's the sound. That's what comes out when you put the things, Maybe like, no, Gwyneth, that's blood. No, it's Goop.
Yeah, maybe that's like what her, she needs Goop.
Yeah.
Or maybe you reverse it. Maybe it's Poog. That's her demon name. Yeah.
Shit, you summoned her.
Oh, shit.
Gwyneth, fuck you.
I spoke Gwyneth's true name.
Should we move on?
Yeah.
So this one's by Jessica Poog Alba. This is by Surf Ingi. How do guys pull girls at church? And if it doesn't work out, how do they keep going and trying if it doesn't work out? And yes, I'm going church with the intentions of getting closer to God first, not hitting on girls first. With that being said, I guess the most logical answer is to feel things out.
It sounds like it's Jesus,
yeah,
then girls,
which we say all the time.
That is our motto here at Fuck Buddies.
Like
Jesus first, then women.
Mm-hmm. We got that tattooed episode 3.
Yeah,
on our spines.
Oh man, I just imagine being so out of touch with the actual words that are coming out of your mouth in like full sincerity and not realizing how dumb you sound, and that being your whole personality.
Yeah, so seduction.
Yeah, it just blows my mind that this is a group of people that have resonated so like pitch perfect with one another.
Well, I do love they are in the decline. Most of the comments are people being like, why can't we say awful shit anymore? Or like this, like anytime someone says something nice and usually gets decent upvotes, they're like, why is he getting upvotes when I said that all women like peppermint? And
But this is the problem. And we haven't talked about him. Do you know what Andrew Tate, this guy who's like now on the uprising? I think so. He's a kickboxer. Or was a kickboxer. Okay. And then I think he was on Big Brother, and then I think he got kicked off for being too much of a douchebag to be on Big Brother.
Damn, he sounds...
Again, I've tried very hard not to Google him or look into him, but he's like, he makes Joe Rogan look like a cool dude.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, he's
How
just...
could you be worse?
It's like someone took Pitbull and Joe Rogan and combine them into a person.
Oh, so he's even better.
So I'm not saying that Pitbull, I don't know Pitbull's stance on many things other than Dale, because we did have a conversation about
so
that. So
Pitbull did say cool is not good. Cool don't make money, and cool is not what he wants and what he aims for. What he aims for is proper growth that lasts forever, especially monetarily, because cool is cash money now, but now is fleeting. And he wants stuff that will give him cash money forever.
Man, Pitbull loves money.
He does love money. Dale.
But no, he looks...
they call him Mr. Worldwide because like mathematics and music, he's one of the things that transcends the language barrier and cultural barriers.
Why do you know so much about Pitbull? Why do you have so much?
Well, that's obviously a lie.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, Pitbull is the one thing like math and music that you could come from an alien species and be like, damn.
But what I'm saying is that could be what he says.
Oh no, I don't know. Hey, maybe it is.
Like that could be his explanation.
Let's find it out. And the other thing was I saw a really dumb Instagram and it looked like man quotes, but then when I went in, it was like a video and it was him being like, "Fuck cool."
Well, and yeah, because he's every time that like finance thing comes to Toronto, Pitbull is always there.
Yeah, apparently
it's like Mark Cuban and Pitbull.
Says nothing though. Apparently, it's so good. Someone live tweeted the like NFT/real estate thing he was at, and
amazing.
It was so good. And anytime I asked him a question, he would just be like mumble something, talk about a song, and say "Dale." It was like,
yeah, hell yeah. I mean, that's exactly what. Look, if you're paying money to see Pitbull, that's exactly what I want, regardless of whether I'm going to a concert or a finance thing. Anyway, so Andrew Tate and seduction, this actually, we're going to get there, I promise you. He's... Did you look up worldwide?
Why does people always say Mr. Worldwide? Which is a weird way to phrase why is he called it, but okay. And this is a quote from 2019. When I say Mr. Worldwide, it's because we're all around the world. Now we've got to think of another name like Mr. Another Planet or something.
I mean...
Which planet's he going to, Pitbull? What does it mean when someone calls you Mr. Worldwide?
I don't know.
If you're any less famous than Pitbull, he says, you can't.
Damn, that's a lot of people who are, in fact, Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah.
Right? Because there are a lot of people, like The Rock, Mr. Worldwide, Ryan Reynolds, Mr. Worldwide. Look, if someone said that, if Pitbull said that, and I was more famous than him by any metric, I don't know how you want to, like, Twitter followers,
we're better
whatever.
podcasters than him.
Well, yeah.
We're Mr. This is Mr. Worldwide's and their sex and dating advice.
Okay, back to Andrew Tate. The dude's a douchebag. He like straight misogyny, promotes violence against women, promotes sexual assaults. Like, there's literally a video of him being like, the way that sex happens is like slap, choke, sex. And like that is like his like 3-step guide to being a man. Like, he's an absolute nightmare. And like, we joke about seduction dying and you know, kind of celebrate its demise. But I think like this is the new funnel of like
all the disenchanted people falling out of seduction are now being funneled
into the Andrew Tate.
And that's why we have this podcast.
And like it's, I don't want people to go and search for him because that is currently like his whole thing is like getting views. However, if you ever see petitions and stuff to deplatform him, because there's literally not a social media platform that he is currently on that doesn't have guidelines against what he's saying. But the fact that he's, you know, raking in the views, he's getting it passed the way that Joe Rogan does. But it's just a matter of time before this idiot, if he doesn't already have a podcast, but he's going to start.
I'm sure this is step one in getting.
He's going to start
bullshit.
being guesting on podcasts on like things like Logan Paul's show and shit like that. You know what I mean? Thankfully, a bunch of people have been inviting him on their show and being like, "You're a piece of shit. We actually hate you. We've brought you on here to waste your time and make fun of you." And like some of the video, he just like sits there and he just looks so sad.
Should we have him on?
I would love to have him on. Like, I would love to, because like his default defense is like, I have more money than you. I have a bigger house than you.
Oh shit, that's true. Well, we can't compete with that,
right? And it's like, and like that is the metric.
Well,
like,
for now,
whatever reason that's resonating with people.
We've got a bigger podcast than him.
So it concerns me when people talk about when we joke about seduction because it is all
at the same time. It's like one of these things fading is still a good thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like saying when Tate eventually meets his fucking peak and everyone realizes it's bullshit and the fucking tweens that think he's cool realize it doesn't work in the real world and people hate them and he starts to fade. It's like that will also be a good thing, even if some other douchebag is trying to scoop up, you know, the other people that still believe. So I don't know.
It's just a scary time. I thought we were doing all right. I thought we were on the right path, but it's always very scary and frightening how quickly garbage humans amass an audience.
It's frustrating that like if we were douchier and said more insane shit, we would probably get, you know, more views and more clicks and more whatever.
Yeah.
You know, if we just did some fucking 20-second snippet videos of us being like, I don't know, and some awful shit, people would be like excited about it, either because they hate it or because they love it. And the worst part is people that love it would then, you know, be our fans and they would suck. The people that hate it would still share it. Anyway.
Yeah, it's bad time.
So how do I fuck a girl at church?
Don't.
See, I think it's...
Well, actually, you know what? I would say this is one of the best places for you specifically to meet women.
Me?
No, the question asker. I mean, also you.
It's true. I'm very pious.
Yeah. Is like you have a recurring spot where you'll see these people, opportunities to chat with them in a, you know, safe environment where you have a mutual interest.
Yeah.
Right. And then just think about it. You could be one of those people who goes to a restaurant and terrorizes the waitstaff after church, the way that church people love to do.
So I think the rules for this are kind of the same as rules at, and to a lesser degree, like
Work, school.
Right. Yeah. So it's like you're going to see these people again. You're going to be in a social situation. There's not like the same imbalance and closeness and like import that, say, a job has, where like, you know, if worse comes to worse, you go to another fucking church if you wanted to, right? If
Jesus only goes to one.
it's true. Even then, that's it. You just got to find that one church. Just like Where's Wally, but for a man with a beard.
So weird you call it Where's Wally.
It's not as bad as work because, again, it's not like your livelihood depends on it.
Yeah.
Only your immortal soul. Who fucking cares? You're not working together. You know what I mean? Like in my fucking church when I used to go as a kid, it's like you didn't even talk to
So you
each
got
other.
that hand job.
Oh no, can't make jokes like that. Not about Ireland. A lot of bad shit went down with priests, and
I meant from the woman,
no,
the girl.
she was impious. Obviously, she used my semen as like spontaneous lube. We're getting sidetracked today.
Boy, this is one of them.
I basically think it's similar to dating someone at work, but with far less kind of like
Ramifications.
exactly. And the thing is, if you aren't a dick, there's no risk here. It's like, look, if something doesn't work out, but you're still chill, they're not going to care. You know what I mean? Unless you're in some crazy church where they're like, you cannot like fuck, you can't talk to women. That's like in so doing, you already will be like that heathen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but other than that, it's like, unless that's kind of the vibe, if you talk to someone and like it doesn't work out and you're like, oh, can we go? Like, I'd like to ask you on a date. And they're like, oh, I'm not really into you. And you're like, oh, yeah, no worries. They're going to be like pleased that you're chill when they see you next, not like, oh, this guy's fucking shit.
One of the hardest obstacles to overcome when it comes to like meeting new people is knowing where to go and having a reason to talk to them. And both of those things are solved already. And again, we're not advocating to use church as your pickup spot. But if you're going to church and you see someone you're attracted to, there's opportunity there. The same way that there's an opportunity to initiate a conversation with anyone you might be attracted with, as long as you have the correct opportunity to do so. So other than me giving you scripts and shit to actually say to people, just like go over to them and say hi and be like, hi, I've just joined the church. Nice to meet you. I'm whoever. And like, boom, you've had your introduction. Yeah. And now it's up to you to be a normal human fucking being to talk to this person. And if you guys get along, ask them out for coffee or a drink.
That's what I was going to say is like, be chill with them and then ask them somewhere else. Like, don't try to fucking finger them on church grounds. Unless. No, but for real, just be a normal person. And again, unless you're fucking awful, it doesn't matter if it doesn't work out because they'll see you and you'll have been chill and, maybe it'll be slightly awkward, but that's not that bad.
And this thing is like, you can keep it so platonic at the beginning too, or like so low risk where it's like, if you guys are both at church and then you're like, hey, do you want to, I've really enjoyed chatting with you. Do you want to go grab a coffee down the street? And you go and have a coffee. You could then like have a first date very quickly, quote unquote, at least with like, see if you guys get along and jive. And then at the end of that, be like, hey, I had a really great time. I would love to take you out on a date.
Yeah.
And then you've played your cards. They should have a good idea of whether they're into you or not. You should have a good idea of whether you're into them or not. And then, but like, you run into the trouble of like any other location of just being like, love to see you again. Yeah, I'll see you at church. And it's like, okay, well then you haven't made any effort to like make your intentions clear. So if you're going to do that, you do have to be like, hi, I would like to take you on a date.
Yeah.
Later.
Or at the very least, like if let's say you're in a mega church in the middle of fucking nowhere and there's no coffee shop nearby, you talk to them, chat to them, and then like get their number and then be like, invite them out during the week.
And I've got bad news for you. If you're going to a mega church, chances are you're not getting anywhere with anyone.
No. There you go. Another one? All right. I guess we're kind of...
We're close.
I want to hit you with a very quick one?
Yeah. Or should we just continue to look through Jessica Alba's IMDb?
That's true. What are good names for pit bulls? No, this is by Hammerhead Hunter and Seduction. What are good non-sexual words to throw in the conversation? Title is the job. Like non-sexual words that could be interpreted as sexual words in certain context.
What?
Oh, sorry. Did you not listen? I'll read it again.
Oh, I heard it.
No, I'll read it again. Title is the job. They're looking for non-sexual words that can be interpreted as sexual words in certain contexts that they can just have a list of them and throw them into the conversation like a normal person does. Right?
I don't think this man understands what the word context is.
But like non-sexual words that are also sexual, that he can have a list, keep it in his pocket, and throw them in to,
I think what you need to do is you need to go get a fake finger cast or thumb cast that you can like put on your thumb. Okay. And then you say things like, oh, I just really slammed my thumb in the door. I'm really glad I didn't get any of my other fingers.
Okay. So you're like, and the fake ones so you can actually slam it and not seem weird.
Well, I'm saying it's already been slammed.
Oh.
Right?
Gore is sexy.
Yeah.
The goop is.
Yeah. And then you get the sympathy vote because you have a thumb cast on.
Yeah. Like, and
then you'd be like, oh, yeah, like, I was actually surprised on how easy the cast. Like, it really just slid in. Just slid my thumb right inside, like really deep in there.
Perfect.
Right?
Are you ready for the suggestions?
Yeah.
Deep, hard, long, mouth, wet, blow, massive sweat, inside, tight, rub, push, from behind, dripping, sore, hot, cum. P.S. Use double intent statement. For example, she's late and you go, I know you like taking it long, but couldn't imagine this long. Imagine you're late for like the first date. So it's like, you like taking it long.
Doesn't even mean anything.
No.
That doesn't mean anything.
That's like when you said we try at the start. Or when you're picking her up, you go, come. More direct would be here, come.
Or just put them all together. Wet cum. I'm sorry?
Wet here, come.
Wet long cum. Wet long cum. Or wet long cum from behind.
Or let's say you dropped some H2O on her dress. And you go, I made it wet. Similar in the rainy weather, wink. Even the fact they're like, oh, I dropped some H2O on you. No, dude.
This is the beauty of people who think that games work.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like in there, like someone wrote that down thinking it was good advice.
If she driving car, you say, nice body. Definitely say moist.
Is that what someone said?
Yeah. Which, again, is one of the famous words people fucking hate.
I assume that was a joke. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is. When I've been with... Are you ready for this? This one's good. When I've been with a girl for a couple of hours, and we had a few drinks, I look into her eyes, I see that spark, and she doesn't break eye contact. I look at her and say, are you a good girl? If she says she isn't, I tell her that God wouldn't have given her that body in any sense of morals. If she says she is, it's on either way. Don't wear it out, boys.
It's perfect. It's the perfect answer.
I read this to my partner and she like threw up in her mouth. Can you imagine just like the other day it's like, are you a good girl? Don't say that to anyone.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's time and place.
Look, if you're in bed, yes. Like by that point, you're not coming on to them. You're coming on them.
Yeah. The only time you should say good girl is when sex has already begun.
Yeah. Yeah,
certainly not in public.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, and I feel like I've said this before, but bartenders can hear everything. And if I hear a single person ever say the phrase good girl to someone at my bar, I will cut you off and kick you out.
And maybe cut you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, this is what we talked about earlier. There is not a magic list of, oh, these are the safe words that like you're not being sexual, but you really are, and they love it. And like you have a list and you pepper them into the conversation. A way to seem very unsexual and unattractive is to randomly say weird words that have no point, especially when you're there trying to secretly inception sex into her head.
And like, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't use double entendres and like, you know what I mean?
Of course you do. Of course we all do.
You know, like, suggestive language and stuff like that. But the reason it works is because it's coming off the top of my head.
I get it. I see you did it there. I'm wet.
It took me a long time.
It was like a long, hard, fucking firm ass.
I didn't think I was going to get there, but I did circle back around from behind.
Yeah. I just think like I was going to like just lamp in my suggestions from behind when you were done.
Mm.
But like they were just so thick that I couldn't really get them out of my tight little bussy.
Get it out of your mouth.
My mouth.
I like the way you're...
force my thick words out of my firm mouth.
Here, can I get a tissue? My mouth is just so wet.
Firm. And from behind.
But yeah, it's like the reason people are success, like this guy probably saw someone using double entendre or suggestive language and was like, oh, how does he do it? He must have these just like
This
memorized.
list.
But it's like, it's not a list. It's not memorization. It's about listing and then using your own wit to respond appropriately at the appropriate time.
Being witty and playful. Which, yes.
And also gauging
when
the
to use them and
conversation.
who to,
And, it's not this like just trick that you have in your back pocket and be like, well, I'm having a conversation with a woman. Better use the word hard.
If I say hard and moist 7 times interchangeably, we'll be there. Like that's what I want to bring to this question is don't do that.
Don't do it.
It's not going to work. It's going to be weird. You're going to be there thinking desperately like, fuck. Like, and she's going to, why does he keep saying the word hard? Like, is he dumb? Like, does he have no other like adjectives?
Yeah.
Is he trying to incept me through some weird seduction mind games?
It's very bad.
So just, no list for you. Time for a Tindy.
Yeah. At the end of the episode, we like to jump onto online dating platforms such as Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge and peruse them for red flags, what works, what doesn't work, in an effort to make your online dating experience a little more enjoyable.
Yeah.
This is Hinge, I believe. Yeah, Hinge. I took a screenshot of it as someone was sending me a message on Instagram, so I don't have their name, unfortunately. But one of the prompts is, the one thing I'd love to know about you is fuck, marry, kill. Camping road trip through the northern wilderness, riding our bikes to the lake to watch the sunset, the prison industrial complex.
That's pretty good.
See, when I first read it, I was like, I don't think you really understand fuck, marry, kill. Like,
however,
what
kill the industrial prison complex.
But then that last little thing made me like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I get it. That makes sense. Also, her pronouns are she, her / hater.
Pretty good. I'll give it a 9.
Yeah, it was a wild ride for me. Originally I was like, this is stupid, and then I got to the end of it. I was like, okay, it's pretty good,
and that's good. I like that. Took some risks, original, funny. You learn a lot from it.
I was gonna say, I think you would weed out the people you don't want.
Exactly. I'd probably get a lot of people that don't get it, but that's okay.
That's also all right.
This is Taya. Casual sex is not for me. I want to fuck you and have wild sex, but also feed you and support your goals and make cute babies and do shit together. Why is that so hard to find?
Okay, up until the babies part, I was like, this is all be casual. You can keep all that casually. But the babies obviously probably shouldn't be.
Well, I think the joke is, I don't want casual, I want wild sex. The babies is a negative because it's like, I don't even think if you're looking to have kids one day, I don't know if you need to have it in the profile. Because, like, that's not a thing you're talking about immediately, right?
Unless it is.
I guess maybe it's good that it's there because that's where you're at. You're that desperate to have kids.
Yeah.
I also find the why is that so hard to find thing. It's like, if it was a little bit more humorous, I think you could pull off, like, I just want to do all these insane things. Why is that so hard to find?
Yeah.
But they're all pretty basic things. So why is that so hard to find just comes off a little bitter.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a 6.
Yeah, the baby scares me.
That's fair.
So I'm going to give it a 2. This is Ziana. Looking for someone to unhealthily fixate on for a month before we both lose interest in Ghost.
You know what? I'm warring with, is it funny or is it like bitter and like red flaggy?
Yeah.
Because unhealthily fixate on, obviously not a good thing. Ignore each other after a month and go. Like, these are all very negative things. So they sound like they're just very bitter and bad at relationships. But it also is kind of like a funny joke of how most Tinders do go.
A reflection of the common experience, the shared experience. I think I'm going to give it a 6.
I'm 5ing it because it's right down the middle. I don't know which way it's gone, and it would very heavily be swayed by how attractive they are in their pictures.
That's fair.
This is Haley. Romance is dead, and so am I.
Damn, is that person's grandma?
Yeah.
You know what? It's funny. I'm going to give it an 8. It's not a good profile.
No.
It's a bad profile, but for me, you know what? I'm going to keep it. I'm going to put it at a 5. I would say yes.
Copycat.
But I'm going to put it at a 5 because, again, I think with a profile like this, it would depend on how attractive I found the person.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll give it a 6 because I think it's funny.
Yes. For me, it's my kind of profile because I'm like, it's so stupid and very funny. To me.
This is Isabella. You're out, right?
Yeah.
You should not go out with me if you're liberal or have pronouns in your bio. Green flags I look for, masculinity.
Yikes. Big yikes. Yeah, it's going to be a 0 for me.
Yeah, I'm not going to give it any points either.
Yeah.
And this is Sarvi. 26 for now. Oh, sorry. It does say.
Well, yes, that is how age works.
Well, their age is listed at 28. 26 for now. But one day I will be 28, and it'll be too late. Okay. Mech engineering. If you trash talk cats, get a personality and swipe left. Pingu is twice the man you'll ever be. The rest of you, let's do this.
Hell yeah. Okay, this is great. Standing cats.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little Pengu in there. You know the guy who did the original Newt Newts died.
Oh, is that why everyone was newting?
Maybe. Can we just get a quick Newt? Bad. Those are bad Pengu Newts. Those were respectful.
Yes.
Those are respectful morning Newts.
I would
before anyone comes at us and be like, those are bad Newt Newts.
I think it would be more offensive for me to butcher a Newt.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna try to.
Or like
it would be like going to someone's funeral, like going to fucking, Steven Tyler's funeral and then singing an Aerosmith song.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be very tacky.
But if we solemnly spoke an Aerosmith to each other in a closet while we sweated profusely,
or if
that's
you go
respect right there,
and you quote a line of something he said,
okay,
right? Like,
damn, right? So we weren't nuding, we were quoting a newt.
We were quoting a newt.
I'm gonna give that one. What are you giving it?
A quanute.
Oh. I'm giving it a newt out of 10.
I'm going to give it, which one was this? This was the...
Mech engineering cats.
Yes, I'm going to give this, it's 9 newts out of 10.
Yeah. This is Jenny Jenny... A lot of Y's. Yesterday I arrived in Toronto, and I don't have a job yet. 5'5".
Sorry, Jenny. You'll get there.
It's not good. It's not a good profile.
It's not a good profile, Jenny. It's not very good. Makes me nervous, to be honest. So I'm giving it a 3 because it was better than the other one I didn't like. Well, that's going to do it for us.
We done did it. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. Thank you to everyone who voted for us in the Canadian Podcast Awards. It is done. The envelopes have been sealed. Mm-hmm.
So whatever has happened has happened. If you took your sweet, precious time to vote for us, we love you.
And if you took your time to the point where you didn't vote, fuck you.
Yeah.
No.
You're dead to us.
No. We appreciate everyone who pitched in. Hopefully we're going to win something. That'll be really cool.
I don't know when it's announced, but we don't know when that happens.
But don't worry, we will let you know.
Yeah, we'll see. Especially if we win. If we win, you'll know about it. If we don't, we'll never talk of it again.
Yeah, we'll slink away under the table and lick our wounds. Thank you to Josh Evil in the heart. Josh Evil?
Whoa. That's him during October.
Thank you to Josh Eagle and the Harvest Cities for their song Paper Stars. And thank you to all of our patrons. Everyone who's on our Patreon supporting the podcast. Wow. You're amazing. You let us do this without being unable to financially recover from it, a la Joe Exotic. It keeps the show going. If anyone is interested, we've got a bunch of tiers, literally for the price of the cheapest coffee in the world a month. You can support us for the price of Starbucks coffee. You can get an extra episode every month and support us for the price of maybe a beer and a good tip. You can get priority queuing and support us and also get another episode.
I do want to just clarify that now it says tiers as in the levels and layers, not vials. We will not be selling our tiers.
It's not podcast boy bathwater.
Yet. Yeah, not yet. Wait until we get an OnlyFans going for that.
And just thanks. You guys are the fucking best.
Thank you. We love you. I got some best text there.
Actually, you know what? One of our fucking OGs had their birthday last week. So I'm just going to say happy birthday. You know who you are.
Happy birthday.
Bad sex writing. That's the thing we do.
Yeah.
That's the thing I have prepared. No, I'm just letting you get comfortable.
Oh, sorry.
There's no way I'm hastily looking it up.
Yeah, there's no way you're not prepared.
No, I would, Dane, how dare you? Someone has made a text AI write a woman written by a man.
Okay.
You have to gauge whether it is better, or you're going to have to rate it and tell me if it's better or worse than our usual bad sex writing fare.
Okay.
She was a woman, and as such, she was primarily concerned with two things: how she looked and how she could please a man. She was aware of her own attractiveness and knew that her looks could get her what she wanted from a man. She was also aware of her own sexual power and knew that she could use it to manipulate a man into doing what she wanted. She was confident and self-assured and knew that she could get what she wanted from a man if she played her cards right.
I'm going to give this a 5 because it is exactly what we get.
Yeah, basically. They kind of nailed it. The AI will be taking writers' jobs soon enough.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that is a direct quote from something that we've read.
Probably.
Yeah. My name is Dave Miller.
And I'm not a spy.
Did it again. And we've been your fuck buddies.